something is wrong, obviously.
They're talking about the drive shaft of the rear gear on the car being broken. You ever see Mike Dillon and Mike Waltrip making that contact, and they just in unison spin down through the...
Joe Bessey was going real slow down the apron and almost got collected, didn't he?
Right along the channel lock car, Kevin Lepage, as he comes off turn 4.
No problem. Got through cleanly.
Mike McLaughlin looks back on them as Michael Waltrip tries to go on the outside. Can't quite make it, and there's where he and Dillon make the contact. There you see Bessey on the inside.
DJ is out of the car. Looks like Ray's right there, too.
Dale, we noticed that the rear end of the car's got a good bit of grease on there. Looks like some sort of a driveline problem put you out.
Yeah, something happened to the rear end. I started smelling some grease about 3 laps before it happened. It's a shame. Car was awful good. Started far back and heading back here, but made up a lot of ground the way it is.
Kind of cautiously coming up through that field, and in the closing laps of this race, looked like you had a car that might get you a top 10.
Oh, yeah, we had already moved into the top 10, and I think we could have got to the top 5 if we had enough laps, but yeah, I was trying to be cautious coming up through. Wanted to bring the car home.
Let's go to Bill Weber.
The last guy that wanted to see a caution is Elliott Sadler. Sandy Jones is his crew chief. Looks like the 38's catching you. How is your car?
We're just a little bit loose right now, Bill, but the Phillips 66 Chevrolet's run pretty good all day, and we got about 34, 35 laps here to see what's happening.
And he feels a little sick. He said he feels like he has the flu coming on.
Yeah, he's got a little bit touch of the flu or something. This is the best medicine for him right here to be out front.
Okay, and Elliott did radio in. That's the last thing I wanted to happen, a caution.
34 laps remain in this race. We're getting down to it here. Will Elliott Sadler be able to hold on to the lead, or will it be Sawyer, Kenseth, Keller, Earnhardt, LaJoie, Grubb, Stewart, Sadler, or Purvis? We know it will not be Dillon and Waltrip. They just crashed here on the front stretch. What you see is not good. We had a major mess over in turn number 2 just after the green flag. Randy LaJoie had just gone back into the points lead and got caught up, as did others, in a big one over in 2. There's Tony Stewart. Hermie Sadler is badly damaged. He's going to the behind the wall here on the front stretch. A lot of smoke and steam coming from that machine.
Randy LaJoie's out of his car. There must be a lot of damage to the right side that we're not able to see. And the 4 car of Jeff Purvis, he really hit. Is that Randy LaJoie he hit so hard over there? He T-boned someone, I guess. I'm assuming it was the right side of Randy LaJoie's car as Purvis crossed from his car.
Looks like everybody is okay, but man, what a mess. All right, we'll show you what happened here.
Going down the corner, Buckshot Jones, 00. 3-car Dale Earnhardt Jr. 74 right there. There's something wrong with the 00 car. He has a flat tire or something and caught the 74 car. Bill Weber?
Right front tire, Ben. He blew the right front tire.
Man, he goes down the corner. The right front tire is flat. It will not turn. He touched the 74 car, which spun him, and then just no place to go. Tony Stewart hits the back of the 00, gets run the back of the 29, and look, that's Bobby Hillin that T-bones Jeff Purvis. So I'm glad I saw Purvis get out of the car before I saw this replay.
And you can see that the track was virtually blocked there for a moment. There was just no space anywhere.
Our points leader, Mike McLaughlin, sees the crash. And drove right through it.
Man, we got a red flag. We got a red while you watch this other replay from Kevin Lepage's perspective. Kevin had some racetrack ahead of him that looked like he was going to make it through and then got hit from the behind. Here we go again from another angle.
There we see the right front tire going flat. 74 car in the wall. And boom, the 8 car Hillin into the 4 car. And car just...
He hit me first.
Well, we have a skirmish down in the pit area. Some tempers are flaring. It's a rather warm day here. And when you get to Bristol, things do happen. Ray Dunlap?
Well, Bob, it's a mess down here. That's all I can tell you. Mike Dillon is not happy at all. He and Michael Waltrip had quite a little bit of a skirmish down here. This kind of reminds me of what went on just a week ago whenever we had a little problem between Phil Parsons and Blaze Alexander. And you're right, when the temperatures go up and that kind of stuff happens on the racetrack, these things do happen.
But hopefully tempers also cool off as quickly as they rise, and everybody realizes that that's racing. So with the red flag out and the big cleanup going on in turn number 2, we'll take a break and be back with more of the More Snacks 250. Of your screen, the cars parked along the front stretch here under a red flag condition. There was lots of debris scattered in turn number 2 when we had this multi-car tangle. Tony Stewart's car is still sitting over there. So is Randy LaJoie's. And so the best thing to do in this situation is to give the fans a good finish and to clean it up. We do go red at this moment. Here's Ray again down the pit area.
Don't make up our damn mind.
Well, Bob, I caught up with Randy LaJoie here. Randy, third in points coming into this race, and it's just a big mess out there on the racetrack. What happened?
On the restart, one of the lap cars got in the side of me and turned me around. You know, that's Bristol racing. I mean, ain't a whole lot we can do. Phoenix Chevrolet Monte Carlo is running good. We're looking for a top 5, you know, and we're just a little too tight to go after the leaders, but got back there with some squirrels, I guess, and I'm not sure what happened. One of the guys just pushed up and got in the side of us. I just hope it wasn't intentional, because it's got a long season to go yet.
It looked like the 00 might have blown the tires, what they're telling us from upstairs.
I don't know, before or after he hit me. I hope it was before. I mean, that's racing, man. You can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, it was definitely before, Randy. Guys?
Going after his 3rd straight championship this year, and Base Motorsports going for their 4th consecutive title in Busch Series action. Let's take a look at it once again.
00 is the car we're talking about. The right front tire is going to be flat. When he goes to the corner, the car will not turn. It goes in the corner and just goes straight up. It watches it right now. It just starts going straight.
That forces Kevin Grubb up into the wall and then sets off the chain reaction that involves Stewart and Sadler and many, many others. Hermie Sadler there in the 29 car on the bottom of the racetrack. Bill Weber is with him.
And Hermie came in 6th in points, a couple of top 10s. A good start to the season for the DeWalt Chevy, and a fairly good run here until this mess. What did you see?
Well, I saw a bunch of cars flying across the racetrack. We had bad track position all day, and I was worried about getting involved in a wreck, and we finally worked our way back up to 6th or 7th some way, and then when wreck happens at Bristol, there's really nowhere to go. It's just luck, and supposedly we've been pretty lucky, but just not meant to be today.
You want to get back out there and make at least one more lap, because you'll pass a lot of cars if you do.
That's the plan, but this DeWalt Chevy's still up pretty good, but these guys are digging pretty hard, so we'll do the best we can.
And actually, of course, they can't work right now because we're under the red flag. And Hermie was focused on this race, but he was also thinking about a friend, Chris Trickle, who passed away this week.
We all think about Chris Trickle, who did pass away earlier this week from injury suffered in a drive-by shooting out in Las Vegas last year. We, of course, ran into Chris and saw him race as a winner many times at Winter Heat in Tucson, Arizona. We became very good friends with Chris. He had been suffering in a coma since that incident that happened in Las Vegas, and this past Wednesday he passed away. Our sympathies to Chris Trickle and his family.